Luke, use the Force. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. I'm Richard Carlton here at fmtrain.tv. I am magically in our Dallas office. So welcome, everyone, to another awesome day of FileMaker training, where every day we are doing training. We're trying to inspire people, educate people. Frequently, we're inspired by you. For example, you know, TK is back visiting Nick, which means that TK is still alive. He just likes Nick more than he loves everyone else. So I'm traveling cross country. I'm going to be visiting Pause on Air with Calvin. We're going to try to take a look at the content there. If there's any content that the people there want to recycle on a live stream, we can do that. I've talked to Moyer about it a little bit. He's kind of like non-committal about it, which is totally cool. But it's Pause on Air. It's basically it's kind of the counterculture hippie jam fest FileMaker developer conference, right? And so it's next week in Georgia, Clayton, Georgia. And if you don't know where that's at, welcome. I have to use I'm taking a it's so in the middle of nowhere that I'm taking an emergency satellite phone so I can dial into the live stream via satellite, right? I kid you not, Iridium satellite. So that we're going to be using that there if we need to. So coming up also next week, which is really interesting, is the live code. We are doing the big live code event coming up. It's going to be 2 weeks of live code. I've been talking to the folks in Scotland. Thank you very much, Margaret, for educating me on geography. So Margaret, as a reminder, we have the upcoming broadcast schedule real quick, but you're going to see a little bit of Kyle in there covering up for us later this week. We really appreciate it, Kyle. Yeah. Nick is here today and tomorrow. Margaret, run us through the schedule for the next 6 days.
Quick. Okay, so we have Valueless Tell for day 3 and day 4 with the wonderful Nick Hunter. On Wednesday, it is you, Richard, with tab summary, performance tuning, and FileMaker. So the shiny numbers on the tabs that slow your database down. We're talking about fixes for those. And then Thursday and Friday. Thursday is a deep dive into advanced checkboxes and radio buttons with Kyle. And then Friday is web viewer navigation features and card window demo in FileMaker, also with Kyle. So he will be there for both of us. Thank you very much again. And then Monday begins the 10-day live code extravaganza of wonder and joy. So
yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. Miles will be here, who's got a lot of experience with that, so it's going to be a lot of fun. As a reminder, if you want to help support the channel, which we greatly appreciate it because the people here don't work for free, go to fmtrain.tv. Maybe Mark could do that. You're going to see the buttons across the top. Of course, you have the live button on the left, but if you press the bundles button, purchase one of the bundles. We really appreciate the support. It's really great. All right, so Nick, are you ready?
I am. I'm ready.
Launch, Nick.
Yes. So how are you? Everything fine? Okay. We didn't talk for a long time. So everybody, thank you for joining in today for this third day of the value list. So so far, it's 2 days now that we have a webinar on this topic, the value list. So we start slow. We start with the very simple custom value list, and then we ramp up. And I'm very glad because I demonstrate things and people didn't know many of the things that I said. So even advanced user. So that's why when you come here, when you join here, and the topic is for beginners, don't worry. If you are advanced, you will get something out of it. So this is what is great. That's what we do here. So today we are going to go a little bit more further into the value list. And we are going to talk about things a little bit more complicated than the last week. So today we are going to start slow with how to use value lists in our very hidden way. Most of the people completely ignore this feature or didn't know the feature. So I'm going to refresh the mind of people on this feature. It's a very cool feature. And then we are going to talk about related value lists. Okay, so that will be very interesting. So let me share my screen right quick. So how I share my screen here. So what are we talking about today? First, we are going to talk about a feature that I love using because it's there since day one. Okay, since the day one is there. This feature, it's a very cool feature. So and I want to explain what it is. So I have a list of contact here, right? And in that list, I can sort the list, right? and I'm not going to explain what it is, but I get sub-summaries, sub-summaries sorted by status, and another one sorted by priority. So I have two sub-summaries here, okay? So but what I'm going to demonstrate is not how the sub-summary works. What I'm going to demonstrate is how to use value lists in sorting a list and get something cool out of it, okay? So when you sort a list, so let's destroy this. Let's say I want to sort by, I want to sort by priority or by status. Let's start by status. I want to sort by status, right? And I want to sort ascending, okay? Ascending order. So this is what I have. I have active, disregards, and inactive, okay? So, which is not really what I want, because what I want a different order than this, I don't want that. I want active, inactive, and disregards. So what can I do here? I have nothing. I can do this, right? And I sort by this. But if I reverse, I have active the last and disregard and inactive the first. So what I want to do here, right, is to use a value list in order to get the sort order I want. So I sort by status, right? And I sort by the status value list. Custom order based on the value list. So now what I get here, I get this: active, inactive, disregard. Why? Is because okay, we don't care about this. It's because the status is like this, the value list is like this. If I change the value list and I say, oh, I want the inactive first, right? If I change the order of this and I sort again, it will change. It will follow the value list, right? So it's kind of interesting to get what we call a custom sort order. We call that custom sort order because it's based on custom values, of the value list. So when I do this, is this. But what I want to show you is something different. It's something more. What I can do, right? I can say, I want to sort by name, but with the order based on the value status. So yeah, but no, it doesn't work. Sorry for that. No. You need to have both. Okay, so you need to have, because yeah, normally I'm not doing that technique, but it's okay. So you have the status and you can say I want by name. So you sort first, you sort the status first and then the name, right? So, and then you have this, Joe, like this. So you can combine both. Sorry for the confusion. So you can combine both, okay? And you can reorder the thing the way you want, right? So using the value list. So now you can combine even more using that technique, right? Is to sort by two keys, right? So you can use the priority here and you see you want the same. But here I have a priority list. I have my priority list here, right? So I want to sort by status with the custom order status, the priority by the custom order priority, and the name. So now I have this. But as you can see, is low, urgent, medium, and high. It's not the way I want it. So let's remove this for a moment. So it's low, medium, high, and urgent. But here it's completely what's the name? Reversed, because in my construction here, I want low, medium, high, urgent, right? This is what I want. So to prevent that to happen, I have a second custom value list here, right? That I call reversed. And I have the order I want: urgent, high, medium, and low, right? So if I sort this, I just have to select this, and now I have my order, okay? So that it's not something very fancy, but I wanted to refresh the mind of people that you can use that technique to reorder the sort, okay, based on the value list. So it's very, very cool. Do we have any questions so far here or no?
No,
Okay.
not that I see.
Okay. And because normally I could have done the result, because you can do, let's say I want to show you something else. Okay, let's forget about this priority here. Let's change the date into priority. Okay, so that's what I want to show you. And I want to sort by name with the custom order priority. Right, look what happened. So why is not doing it? Why is not doing it? It should have done it. Oh, because it's by, oh, it's because, okay, see, yes, okay. Because it's by name. Oh, yeah, I should have, okay, let's sort by company. Let's sort by company and like this. Because I must have the same. See, for example, here is low, high, low. I don't know why it's not doing it. I don't know why it's not. Normally, you should have done it by priority. Something I don't have a lot of because I don't have a lot of sample, that's why it's not doing it, but normally you should have done it. Okay, forget about this. So I want to show you now something else. Okay, always when you do something, I didn't prepare that. I wanted to add that at the last moment, and I should have done it, but it's okay. It's always cool to see the master drowning itself. So so no, I didn't prepare. To be honest, I didn't prepare that. What's follow is I prepared. Okay, what's follow? So so now, okay, now let's go to the crusty. Okay, okay. I have a company here. I have companies. Okay, and I have company and I have contacts. Right. So, and for each companies here, for each contact is attached to a company. For example, Joe is attached to Ford. Okay, so Nick Hunter is attached to Claris. Marge is attached to Claris, and Joe to Ford, and Richard Carlton to RC Consulting, Jacob Taylor to RC Consulting, Peter to RC Consulting, and I have two-time Peter, and let's say and I don't know. With Kyle is also RC Consulting. So I have 7 people here attached to different companies. Okay. Now I want to go to companies, and I want the list to show me. For example, here I have a new customer, I have a new company, and I put the name. For example, I'm going to put not Ford. I'm going to put this. Okay. So let's say I have a new company, right? And I want to select the contact of that are related to that company. So, oh yeah, so sorry, is there. So RC Consulting, I have all of those people related to RC Consulting, right? They are all these people. And so if I change the company, Claris, you have Marge and I. If I go there, Apple, I have nobody. If I go there, Acme, I have nobody. If I go there, I have 1 people. I have Ford. I have Joe. Okay, so what I want to show you here is that I can conditionally get a value list to show me records based on a relationship. Okay, so here the relationship is the company, right? It's the company, and based on the company, I get the list of all the contacts related to that company. Okay, so each time I'm linking a company, for example, if I create a new name, I'm going to put Kyle, and I put the company like Acme. Okay, Kyle. Okay, so I'm putting this. So now, if I'm going to the company Acme, I have Kyle available because it's linked to the company. Okay, so that's what I want to show. So to do that, we use relationships. So now I want to show you something here, because to do that, you have 2 ways. You have the bad way and the good way. When I said the bad way, I said the bad way. I don't say the wrong way. I said the bad way. Okay, because FileMaker is an antique historical software. So, and since day one, they keep doing it, that not breaking anything that exists since day one. So they try that as much as possible. But here, I'm going to show you something. To get the value list to link to get the list only of the linked or related data. Okay, I'm using the ID. So I'm going to show you here. Okay, so in company, because that's why we are. Okay, we are in company here. We are in this context in company. That's why I wanted to keep it simple. Okay. In company, so let's forget about this and let's forget about this. Okay, we are here in company. Okay, to get the list to show me only the data linked to the contacts, right? Company contacts. I use the IDs. Always you use the ID. Why? Because you can have two nicanters. You know, if you go online, you type my name, you have an actor, you have a, don't know, a philosopher, you have and you have a bunch of unknown people like me. So, so you have many nicanters, right? So, or many Richard Carton. No, Richard Carton, I think we have only one, right? It's enough, right? Right, Marge? It's enough. It's enough. It's enough. One Richard Carton in the world is enough. Then the world is not big enough for two. So, so anyway, you never, ever, ever, never link something like this using the one and only. So you need to use IDs. And now in the modern world of FileMaker, we are no longer using please don't use serial numbers anymore as a you know as a key, as a relationship key, because okay, we have a better way to do that, and I'm using personally the UUID number. So why you use the UUID number is because it's doing the same job as a UUID, but it's only based on numbers, and it's not stressing the index like the UUID with letters. Okay, so it's not stressing the index. So use the UUID numbers and know the UUID normal here for that. Okay, but you keep the text, you keep this field text, okay, always. Another day I will explain you why. But it's a UUID number. You get a number and it's not, you need to be text, because the number you get, the UUID number you get often start with 0. So if you get that as a number, it will skip the 0 and it will do a bad job. So keep that text, okay? So that being said, I'm linking the linkage between contact and company is made by the ID. So in the old days, this is what we were doing. Okay, in the old days, we got here, right? I was getting the what's the name? The ID of the contact. Okay, I was showing the ID of the contact here, right? And I was going to create a value list like this. Create a new value list, and you say, okay, it's contacts by ID. Okay, and you do this. Click here. You go to contact, right? And you select the ID of the contact, and you say, okay, also select the name. So you say, okay, you select, you have a, so this is, okay, it's always difficult to explain this. You have a value list that will select the ID as you select the name. Demonstration. It's better if I demonstrate. If I keep like this, okay, this is what I get. So you see, I select on contact, I'm select the ID and the name. on the second value. This is what I get. Okay. So I'll go there. Pop-up menu. This is what I get. I get the number and the name, right? But if I select this, I will select this. It will show only in the field. So if I have a second field here without just an edit box, and I'm going to show this. So it shows me the numbers, but I see both. I see the number, the ID, and the name, right? But in the field itself, it will only select the ID. So what you can do here is you say in the value list, you say, okay, that's great. I just need the name. I don't want the ID. I want to use the ID, but I want the value list to display me the name. So I say, okay, show values only from second field. So that means now my value list will do this, right? This, okay. So it will select the, okay. So now, as you can see here, I have only the names. But if I select, the field will be filled with the ID. So that's a cool way. It's a cool way to get an ID quick based on the name. Okay? It's a good way. But as you can see, I select and I don't see the name of the guy. See, okay, in that case, you have an option here that said override data formatting with the value list. Okay. So you need to select this in order to get this. So now this field here will show the name, but in reality, you have the ID because those two fields are the same. One, I show the pop-up menu with the override data formatting option. And here is just an edit box, okay? So that's the reality. So now, when you do this, right, you get the ID of the guy, right? But it's not a good way to do that, right? It's not at all a good way because it's not real. It's not real. Nothing of this is real. It's just fake news. It doesn't exist. Nick Hunter here doesn't exist. I cannot go there. Go and find Nick Hunter. It will say no match. Because it doesn't exist. It's fake. It's totally fake. You can find it only if you do this. If you use the menu, it will find it. But if you want to type it, if one day you just want to go and say search Nick, you can't. You won't find it. You need to select in the menu and you have no other choice. Okay. Look, this is an antique, this is an antique, label said, or show the related field. Say, yeah, in that case, you are searching in a related field. So it's slow and it's a bad technique. So no, I'm going to, okay, look, I'm not going to spend too much on showing you what you shouldn't do, okay? I prefer to take my time and tell you what you should do. Okay. Let's get rid of this. This is really, I mean, you guys do whatever you want, right? It's you're free to do whatever you want. But this stuff here, it's been like 15 years that I'm not using this, because it's fake. It's from the time of FileMaker 3.0, 2.0. It's from that time where FileMaker was a toy. Okay, so we don't rely on this, And okay, you saw me doing it but most of you are completely incapable of reproducing what I'm doing here. Not talking about if you start using related data. Okay, okay, we don't want to use that. Okay, we don't want to use that. So this, okay, you know what? I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to say do not do that. Okay. Okay. Then, so, but I keep it because I'm going to give you that file next at the end of the day. So, okay, Nick, how I can do that? How I can get their, my names, how I can get my names. So I have two relationships here now. Two. I have two fields. I have the contact and the contact ID. I have two fields. Okay. One field, and you can see now it's real. I have the contact. This is contact name. Contact name. I can rename it. Contact name. Okay. Contact name. So I have it. Contact name is here. It's a real field. It's a field that exists. And when I get the what's the name? When I want to get the ID of the name, right? When I want to get the ID of the name, what I'm doing here is this. I have this relationship that is linking the contact name of the company, okay, where I'm now, and the name of the contact in the contact table. So when I select, so if I go there, I'll show you the ID here. And I select another name, it changes. So how is this possible? It's possible because I have two links, remember, two. The first is based by name, okay, based by name. And then I'm going to use a lookup in the ID. I'm going to use name matching names, both names will match. When the name I'm selecting in the company matches the name I'm selecting in their what's the name? The name I'm contact name in the company and the real name of the contact in the contact table. When that match, get me the ID of the contact in a lookup. So when the name here matches the name of the contact, right? Give me the ID, which is impossible not matching. Why? Because this field, this related, what's the name? This related value list is feeding out of the contact. So it is impossible here to get a name that doesn't exist in contact. Ergo, it is impossible to get something that doesn't exist. Period. It is impossible to get something that doesn't exist. It is impossible to get a selection here without this working. Why? Because this is feeding out of contacts. Okay. So at the time I am using I'm just using it to suck in the ID, and then that's it. I drop it. It's just to select the ID, because even though I'm changing the name here, if I change the name here, it will work. It will work. Even if I change the name here, I will keep the link because the name won't match anymore, but the ID will. Okay, because I use that technique just to get. I need the relationship to work right now. That's it. And that's it. I don't need to work. I don't need the relationship to work anymore. So, and because I'm feeding in real time, this is a real time feeding. It's a real time feeding value list. Since it's a real time feeding, if I select this, I need the ID. Right. That's it. Done. I don't need the relationship anymore. I could even cut it if I want, right? So, what if there's are duplicate names? Yeah, okay. With the other technique, the same. When you have duplicate name, you have the same problem with the other technique, because if you have 5 Joes, it will show Joe, 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 Joe. Okay, so which Joe you want, right? So in that case, okay, I'm using another technique, but you know, I can show you later because it wasn't what I want to do. But I can do this. Okay, I can do this. Do I have a, for example, department? Okay, I can show that. So I want to, I can show the department. So I show both, right? So I do this. So if I have two unique characters, okay, I'm go there and I create a new one. And the other one is on the, I don't know, spaceship, you know, on the spaceship. So I'm going there. I have to. Oh, yes, but I need to link it to Claris. Hold on, Claris. Boop, boop. Why is it not doing? Oh, yes, I need to. Okay, it's more complicated than that, but okay. You need to create a field where you have the name and the account. You need to what's the name? To get but because even if you use yeah, you need a field to get that, because this technique here never worked. It's a big problem. But if you have the other technique, if you use the other technique like this, you know, the other technique, and you use a pop-up menu and you use this one, okay, and so you do this. Which one you use? You know, you have Nick and no, it's not. You know, you have Kyle. You have two Kyles. You have one Nick and no, it doesn't. It does exactly the same. So when you have a duplicate, you need to create. When you have a duplicate like this, okay, you need to create a field. A field that will get you what's the name? Somewhere to differentiate them. Okay, a combinate. Yeah, you know, like you know what I mean? You create something like this, right? So this is what I'm doing normally. So you have names, a full name, full info, for example. You know, you can create like this, text, right? And you have an auto entry calculation, right? And you say, so you said substitute list of, for example, let's say you want the name and you want the department, okay? The department, and you get this, and you say this with a space, okay? So you have this, and so now you have this guy here, right? So you said so you said this, and you can where did I put this? I think I put in the wrong. Where did I put that? I put in company. No, where did I put it? I'm lost. Where I put the full info? Okay, full info. Yeah. So I need to go to here, and I need to change this, and to replace with the name. Blah blah blah. Okay. Okay, to get the thing to work, you know, to get this field working, the full info, okay, and so now I have this, right? So I have the full info working, okay, and I need to base on this my system. So if you go there, you change the value list. I wasn't ready to do that, but it's okay. You change the value list that I got it, contact by company. So you change this with this, no, contact by company, no, it's by name, shipping, language, priority reverse. Where is department? Okay, look. I hate when I'm doing this. So which one it is? Okay, by company, yes. So contact by company, I change this with the full info, right? But I need also to change with here. It's not name, but it's for company, but this is full info. And now it will work. So I have two now. See, I have two Nick Hunters, Hunter Accounting and Nick Hunter with Spaceship. So do we have any question?
Did you get the question from YouTube? Question from Steve on YouTube: can you use a UUID number with multi-line relationships?
Yes. So yes, I see that you have one question from Steve, right?
Yes.
Can you use a UUID number with multiple? Yeah. Yeah, sure. It doesn't matter. It's the same. It's exactly the same as. It's exactly the same as what's the name? UUIDs, but it use numbers only. So it stress less the what's the name? The index. So we need to use, you need to use that. Yeah. So sorry for that. I wasn't ready to do that, but it was on the fly. So yeah, so you need to do that. You need to do a field that it's an auto entry calculation. That doesn't matter. It won't slow down anything. So you need to use a key to separate the duplicate. So it can be okay. I don't have city. I use the department, but you can have the city. You can have a city and state, and you can have whatever you want. You create your separation to make sure that you're not selecting, because otherwise you don't have another way to select. Even the antique way, I checked it to make sure I wasn't saying something wrong. But it's not going to do the what's the name it's going to show you only one name, right? It's because it's normal because it's using the index. And the index won't do a difference. Index is not related based. It's not relationship based. It's not, the index doesn't give a damn of this. The index won't give you. So you need to do the job that the index is not doing, and by doing it, you need to do that. So okay, I keep it there in this file. So now you can select this guy or you can select this guy, right? So you have both, right? So that's the only way. So it's a pull duplicate that are linked to the same company, not those other companies. So Stu said, so it only pulls duplicate that are only linked to the same. Yes, because okay, let me finish my stuff here. Because what is this list? Okay, what is this list? It's a related list. It's related by companies. So I'll show you what I'm doing here. I'm saying Nick Hunter works at company Claris. Okay. And let's find out who is working at Claris. Okay. I'm searching, and I have 3 people working at Claris. I have Nick Hunter, I have Marge, and I'm another Nick Hunter. I have 2 Nick Hunters. There's many Nick Hunters at Claris. I'm pretty sure they don't like this example, but it's okay. So I have 2 Nick Hunters and I have Marge. So 3 people. Okay. So now they are all related. They are all related to the company ID. Claris. This is the ID of Claris. Why? Because I'm using exactly the same technique I show you with the companies. Here, I have company by name, right? I have company by name, right? And I have company by ID, right? So I have 2 by name. So just to get the lookup of the ID company by the name, okay? So I'm not going to do the same thing. If you have 2 companies the same name, you know what it is. You know what to do. You have the company in San Francisco. You have Claris San Francisco and Claris Sunnyvale and Claris I don't know, New York or Claris Texas. Okay, you can have multiple. You have the same problem if you have 2 Clarises. Okay, entonces, here, this is how I'm getting the ID. So now I have this name. This Nick Hunter is linked to Claris with the ID. So if I open this, if I go to the company here and I show this, if I show the ID of the company, right? The ID, if I go to Claris, is 6250, okay? 6250. So those 2 matches. Okay, the two match. Okay, so now what I'm doing, going to explain, trying to explain how a related uh, value list works. Let me explain. I go to the so far I just demonstrated you how to use the value list to get the ID by using the lookup and by the name, okay, by the name or by the combination of name, department of by the combination you want or by the name, okay. So if you have duplicates, so I'll show you how to handle both cases, okay. So now you know how to get the IDs. You know how to get how to select, how to go to the contact and link it to a company getting the ID, or go to a company and select a contact and get the ID of the contact. So you know to do that now. Okay. But here I want to get all the contacts linked to Claris. Okay. So this is why I have this what's the name? This list here. What's the name of the list? This one. Oh, it was this one. Yeah. So this one, okay, is contact by company. Okay, contact by company. So how it works? How it works? You must create the link that will make the filter for you. What is a filter? What is a filter? I am in companies, and I only want the contact linked by the ID of the company with the ID, foreign ID of the company. I only want those contacts. Out of all the contacts, I want only the contacts that are linked to the current company I'm in by the ID, right? It's simple. So how it works? When you go to the value list, here how you need to think about. Okay? You don't say, I want, you need to say, okay, I have my link. So let me go there. I want the records linked on this relationship. I'm here, okay? I'm in company. I want the record from that link, that occurrence, related to companies. I want the relation. I want the records that are linked to that, that are from that relationship to that occurrence. So you go there and you say, I want the records, I want the value of the full info of the occurrence contact by company, all of them only related to the value starting from companies. I am in companies. So I want them only the one that start from here. I know it doesn't make any sense, but this is how FileMaker works. You need to say, I want the record from that link, only the one related to that link. Okay? So I want from there only starting from here. It's completely reversed. It's completely reversed. I agree. It's completely reversed. So I want the values of full info from that occurrence only related starting from companies. Got it? Everybody got it? So now, when you do this, here what you get. Okay, here what you get. You here, and at Claris I have only 3 people. Here I have those 4 people. Right? Here I have nobody. Here I have Kyle only. Here I have Joe, and here I have nobody. Right? So see, so it's only showing me the people linked by this ID with this ID. Okay, so you link by the ID, but you need to think about, I'm talking about to the very beginner people. You need to think like this. I'm going to fetch the record from that link, only including that one here. Because if I don't do this, here what I get? I get nothing. It doesn't care. It will show everybody. You don't have the filter. The filter says, go fetch all the full info of all the records of this, only related to companies. Okay, so of course here it will show up only the relationship linked to that one. So that's why it doesn't make any sense. This is very complicated to understand. That's why I wanted to make sure that when you go there, as you can see, he's going to show me two of them, right? He's going to show me companies and going to show me this one, because this, if I select this and this are linked to this one, because they are linked to the same company here. That doesn't make any sense. But what you need to tell you when you do something like this, you need to say, okay, I'm building the relationship I want. I am in company and I want to go to contacts. So you establish the link, the ID of the company with the ID of the company, foreign parents, okay? And then here what you need to tell you when you do the value list. You go and you say, I want the record from contact by company, because they are the one by ID, okay? And that I want, and only the one related to companies. So you need to get a photo, a picture of this, and tell you, I want from this one only the one related to this one. So I hope everybody got it, right?
Yes, I'm looking to see. Any questions, everyone, about this? People saying it's a smart solution, which is unshocking.
Yeah, it's how FileMaker works. So you, to get the ID, you use my technique of using the name to get the ID. You use the name only to get the ID. When you get the ID, you're free. You can rename the name. You don't care. It will work. You use the name just to get the ID. When you got the ID, you get the values to work on the ID, not on the name. Never. Okay, never. Okay. So now let's get a little bit more hairy a little bit. And I want to show you this, but I'm going to jump. I'm going to do a part today and another part tomorrow. Okay. What is this? Okay. It's what we call record-based value list. Record-based value list. So you have the custom value list. You have the related value. So you have this. You have the custom value list. He inherited from another file value list. You have the value list from fields, right? Or you have the value list from fields related, okay? And now I'm going to show you a fifth level, a record-based value list. That means you're going to create your value list based on records, and you will be able to create as many values as you want without pretty much doing anything here. This is to give people the possibility to edit the values without calling you and say, hey, can you add a value here? Or you don't want people to come here and put their mess inside this, you don't want. You want to confine them, to build them a UI and to confine them there and say, okay, You can do whatever you want here. You can select, you can do whatever you want. This is your world. It's record based. So let me explain what this is. Let's say I'm going to the company here, right? And I want a value list. I want to use those values. I have two value lists here. Tomorrow I'm going to explain you how to do this, but I'm going to, I can explain you right now how to do that, how to build this, and then tomorrow I'm going to show you how to use it. So how to build this? It's very simple, okay? You want to be able to create multiple value lists with items, You have a value list and item. Pretty much you're going to replicate this. You're going to replicate this. You have a name, right? And a custom value. That's what you want to replicate. This and this, the name and the custom value. The same like this. Name, custom value. But you want to give the people the possibility, right? To other, to other, what's the name? To other value. You added your value. Is added. It's a record. It's a FileMaker record. So to do that, very simple. You have two tables, value list and value list item. Very simple. The first value, you have an ID here, and you have a value list title, right? And then the other one, you have the foreign key of the value list, right? And an item name. And then you use one relationship, very simple, right? That says, from the value list, you link the two IDs, value list and the foreign key of the value list, and you say allow creation and delete related. Okay, so that's super simple. You should be able to do that. It's two table with a record. So pretty much what you do, new record, and you say okay, test, and then you say value 1, value 2, value 3, etc. Okay, so and you build your value list, and then you have multiple values. Okay, and here you have an ID. You have a very simple UI here. You have a master detail, and you have a link, and you have a pretty much what's the name, a port. It's very basic. It's the basic of the basic of the basic. Okay, nothing fancy here. How you build this. Okay? But what is interesting to see is how you use it. Okay, is how you do this. So now that I started, I need to finish this. So as you can see, I want what's the name, to build a value list out of this. I want the value list out of this. Okay, but in my table here, I have all of them. They're all in the same table, with different IDs. This is one value list, this is another one, and this is another one. You can see 13, 13, 13, 17, 17, 17, 50, 50, 50, 50. Okay, so and you can see those are my value 1, 2, 3. Those are cities, and those are countries. You can see. So pretty much you can pretty much see here what I've done here. Here they are arranged by ID. So here, when I'm here, I'm showing only the one with 50, 50. Here I'm showing only the one with 17, 11. And here I'm showing only the one with 13, 46. Okay, so it's related base. Okay, but how can I get FileMaker to show me to get a value only based on this? You go to your table. For example, here I am in the table company. So you go to company, right? And you create a new field, and you get that link. For example, country value list. Link country value list. And this is a global. Okay. This is a global. And so what you do here, you go to the layout here. Okay. Let's delete this, replace this with this. Right? It's a global. So here you have For country, you have an ID. Okay, you have an ID. So you copy the ID. I have a button here. Copy the ID, and you paste it here, right? So you have the ID of this is there. Now what you do? You go to value list here, and you say, I want related countries. So countries, related value list, okay, or related values. So you use the technique I show you right now, right? Sorry, I forgot something before. You need now that you have the global, this one, you need to create a new link here to the value list item. So that means the value list item, you remember, they're all linked to an ID, okay? So this is country value list items, okay? Oh, yeah. What? Oh, space, okay. So what you want to do here, right? You want this ID to be linked to the global because it's where you have copy paste the ID. So what this link is going to do, is going to, remember 5079 is going to show me only the one link to the 5079. So now that I have the link created, I can go to my value list, right, and create my value list here. Says, I want the country's value list item only related to companies. So pretty much what I've done here, I said, show me the values, show me the item that are from that relationship with the ID 5079 from that company, from that occurrence. So now that I have this, I can go there and say pop-up menu, BIM, and I have my countries. And I have only the countries based on this. Let's say I want to play. I copy this ID. I put the ID here. Now I have cities. If I do this and I copy this and I paste this here, I have value 1, 2, see? So it's all based on the ID, right? So now I have countries here. But now I said, okay, I want both countries and cities, right? So very simple. You duplicate this and you call it cities. City. Okay, change. Global. You duplicate this relationship here and you call it cities. And this item is the same, but now you link city with this one, right? Okay. Now you have two IDs now. You have this ID and you have the other one. You have the city value list, right? And you can go there or you can go in my UI and say, okay, copy ID, okay, and you paste it. Now the relationship is done. You have two relationships, two IDs. So now I'm going to the value list here. I duplicate this, very simple. I name it cities. And I'm saying, click here. I change the, it's not country value list, it's cities value list. I want the item linked to the companies, but with another link, with the city value list item, right? So now I go there, I put a pop-up menu, and I select the cities. So now I have this, countries, cities, countries, cities. So why to do this? Why to do this, right? For one reason, one and unique reason. Okay, I don't want, let's say I don't want Santa Clara deleted. and I want, I don't know, I want Berlin, and I want London. So, what the, oh, no, no, yeah, cities. London, right? Berlin. So you can give the people the possibility to get to edit this without calling you every 5 minutes and without doing the old trick of doing this, like this, allow editing, right? Let's go to context. I think I went here to say allow edit, other, no, I don't have an edit priority. Yeah, allow edit. So you don't want this. This is old style edits, and you go there, right? So that means somebody can just do this and buy, right? So you don't want that, right? So you don't like it. What you want to do, you want to give them the possibility to have something like this, right? So you can create as many values you want, and then you can rely on this, but you can change this. Yeah, so there's a question. Is there an easy way to get separators in value lists where values are in the table? No, they're not. Those values, I know there's techniques with XML and stuff like that where you can sort value lists differently. But out of the box, you don't have this question. The question is there an easy way to get separators? Like separators, like this one. No, there's none. And there's not an easy way. Even if you do this, it will never be treated as a separator. It's not a separator, right? It won't. It's not. It's not treating that as a separator. It's going to treat that as a knife, or it's not treating it. It's not treating it at all, right? So you cannot do this. Unfortunately, you can. But it's kind of cool to have I'm using that a lot. To get a thing like this. Of course, you can use that technique, to get things from the net, or you can. I mean, it's open. It's open to you, right? It can be a link to many things. So it's a good technique. So it's not very complicated, right? It's not very complicated. What you need to do. You need to establish a link here. Okay, you need to establish a link. When you have the link in place, then you can rely on that link to create your value list, right? But the global technique is a good technique. You use a global, right? And you put the ID in the global, right? So you will tell me, yeah, a global is cool, okay? But how I get the global to feed itself when I am in the server, because on the server the global will go away when you the server will just go away when you quit, right? So that need to be fed up all time. I'm going to show you that tomorrow, okay? So if we don't have any question, I think we're good to land the boat land the spaceship.
I think we're good. Thank you so much, Nick. This is always really illuminating and really interesting. I really appreciate hearing about it, and I'm sure everyone else does as well.
Yeah.
But no, I think we're good. I think we are free of questions, and we have answered all of them. So, thank you again.
Yeah, there's another one. Okay, we need to pre-populate the idea. Yeah. So on the first window open, yes, engine Chili, you need to do that. I'm going to show you tomorrow. There's multiple ways to do this, but I like it. I'm going to show you a real world kind of file and a real world application of this.
Okay, that's really fun.
Are we good?
Yep, I think we're totally good. All right, y'all have a lovely, wonderful day. Thank you again, Nick. We will catch you tomorrow.
And see you tomorrow.
He's just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected, the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.